as much as I would like us to do it together, that's most likely not a reality. Because we have to really be honest. Have you really had positive experiences with Black women to say that we have truly done something together that was about us? I can't even think of anything that Black women have done together that was about us solely. Not Black people, Black women specifically about us. I can't even think of one thing that we have done for ourselves together. Can't even think of one. Some people could probably use the example of sororities, but I wouldn't even use that example because there's so much fighting. There's so much fighting, and there really has not been a push for Black women as a whole. It's really only been for the people that are there. So that's one. It's like, oh my God. Because then you just start looking like, no, that can't be true. No, we got to keep flipping, and it's not true. There's nothing that we have done together for us. We just haven't seen it. And when you think about how aggressive a lot of these divestors are getting out here on this language of, their hatred towards Black men, and now this extension to Black women, that's just it's honestly becoming just, I don't want to say anti-Black. I hate when people always take it to they hate themselves. I hate that stupid conversation, but it's to a point where it's detrimental and it's not productive, and it's honestly making everybody look bad in that space, and I don't think anyone's really thinking about that. No one's looking at the perception. No one's looking at the sound bites, looking at what could be taken out of context of what you're saying. I totally understand, and I've said this before on this channel, I totally understand the need to untether yourself from the craziness that's happening here. I get that. But to have to do it in a manner in which you're using more language than you are wasting time actually talking about things, that's kind of where they lose me. That's where they lose me as an audience. And that, for me, it's not for me. So I got to think about what you're doing here. And that's where I kind of get to this whole Black women are trash as a collective. That's where I get to that point. It's that's what you realize. It's they are trash. And you're going to get to a point where it's you are hoping that we can work together. You're hoping we can do these things, but the reality is you're not. And the first thing you're going to have to do is qualify Black women. And that is something that they don't really...
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Hold on just 1 second.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what else. You want blood? Seriously, what do you want?
No, I don't want blood. I'm just saying.
Oh my God,
blood.
so damn unbelievable.
I'm gonna.
I have the private group. This is why.
You're okay. Good. This is why. Part of why I have one too.
Actually, I have never. You're gonna find out, Chrissie, one day, because you know what? This stuff always. What's in the dark always comes to light. You will eventually, you will discover you were wrong.
Okay. And if I do, I apologize. I will.
This is Chrissie and Kara's.
I won't bother, Crystalline, because what you're not gonna do is play victim like you've never done anything wrong. That's what you're not gonna do. And she hung up. But y'all, look, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I'm just trying to figure out who knows that information.
All right, guys. Now, y'all just heard that crazy...
Okay, stop right there.
Phones and makeups, I'm like, baby, none of that shit matters, literally. You're missing something that's very important. Just right over your head. Happy October. October is going by so... How are you, beautiful? We have a lot to discuss today. Hopefully this doesn't sound all over the place, but it shouldn't be because I'm pretty calm, I'm just annoyed. I heard what she said. It was unnecessary. Which part, girl? Which part was unnecessary? Because she said a lot. She said a lot. But that's okay because, you know, I said some mean stuff about her on my last live stream, but that shit was not unwarranted. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is type of deal. Calling you and Caesar dusty. I don't know where she gets off on calling Caesar dusty. I mean, that man owns his own business. Most of the people that she's calling dusty actually own things or have more than she has. I just think that it's so weird because, you know, I think everybody has had those times in their lives where they're down and out. And, you know, in any time in my life where I was light-skinned black woman, any time in my life where I was down and out, I was very humble. And also, I wasn't in any drama, especially if I was doing bad like how she is, because she was like, I have everything I need. I have phones and makeups. I'm like, baby, none of that shit matters, literally. You're missing something that's very important, you know, just right over your head. Happy October. She said that you needed to show your face before you start talking like, bitch, you're just gonna stay mad. Bitch, it's not my fault that you chose not to be anonymous. You could have totally started an anonymous channel, bitch. It's not my fault you want to be fucking famous, TikTok famous and YouTube famous, which, by the way, is never gonna happen. Never. Girl, please. And on TikTok, you be getting dragged to fucking filth. Like, please stop. And she was like, how old is she? And she was trying to shame Golden Goddess for being in her 30s or whatnot. And she was like, I'm not 40. I'm not 40. Well, bitch, I'm younger than you. I'm younger than you, and you're fucking spent. You're spent. She is dusty. She needs to leave people alone. Why would content creators have problem with kids? I mean, being family oriented is important. Exactly, bitch. I always got my child. Where's yours? Where's yours? Oh, no. The only time I heard about your kids is when you were calling them fucking brownies, you fucking retard. Girl, ugh. The fuck? That's the only time you talk about your kids. Is when you call them fucking brownies and darkies. Like a weird bitch. So don't ever. She can't even say nothing about me because she don't know nothing about me. She literally legit lied and said that I was telling Exoticals to date fast food workers. No, bitch. We both went on a live stream together, which was Exoticals United. She asked us both the same question. I answered, and I gave why to my answer. I never said I was dating a man that flips burgers. Never said I even did date a man that flips burgers. I answered the fucking question.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this one right there. But clearly you can see that what you're witnessing is the absolute and the complete collapse of the so-called divestment movement. You've got, now the first clip you heard, hold on, what was that first one I played? This was a female who was a divester who did a video, and she was saying black women, the collective of them, are trash. And here's my thing. The exact things that they're saying about themselves right now are the exact things that black men literally always say, but it's written off as bashing. The thing that I've said about the so-called divestment movement is this. Most of these women, just like Cynthia G, talk to black men. You're going to be resentful toward whoever you talk to mostly. Also, you heard this one woman dragging, like the last woman you heard. This is basically a mixed chick who's talking about bossy empress. Bossy empress said not too long ago that all black men in the womb should be aborted. And she is living in a hotel selling ass to black men. You can't make this stuff up. The girl that was just talking about her, I'll link you to all of this. I'll put all of these links. Hold I'll try to see if I can get them in the comments or the description. I'll definitely put one in the description. The first lady you heard to, I'll put her in the description. You can go down to the comments and check out this. But these women, and it's almost like 2 or 3 years ago, you couldn't have told yourself. Now, I could have told myself this, but I know that most of you Negroes, you couldn't have told yourself this. You literally couldn't have made yourself believe this madness, that Chrissie is in a wide open lawsuit with Crystal and Kerosene. And here's my thing. If you pushing it and you promoting interracial relationships, but if truthfully that shit ain't really working and you really ain't getting these white dudes, and here's one thing that has remained a constant. There are no white male representatives who said, I'm here to absorb the divestment movement. The only thing they can find occasionally from time to time is a white male unicorn. That literally is it. There's been no reciprocation of all the exaltation that they give to white men. And technically, if a bunch of people sit around, just like you heard with the first black woman, that's why I played that clip first. If a bunch of people sitting around talking shit, and here's a basic rule about the internet. If you sit around talking noise, and if you don't really get nothing popping, if you don't really get nothing going, it's going to be nothing but you and a bunch of agreeable people, because most videos have thumbs up. A bunch of agreeable people are going to agree all the way to the point that you disagree, and then your movement and your channel is going to break up and fall apart. This is the continuum of a pattern that goes on in a circular continuum on YouTube, which is why I don't join groups. I just don't. If they're not doing nothing in the real world, I'm not joining them. It ain't going to be nothing but a matter of time before they start fighting. And you can see that these are 3 ideological different groups, and every single last one of them is doing the same thing, infighting. And I ain't gonna lie, the shiznit is music to my ears. You heard the evidence here, and you heard why I called this channel Shadow Band. I'm out, man.